Hello, loves. Hello, hello. Hills here from the Blue Flame. How are we all doing? That weekend when Mercury going retrograde was really something, wasn't it? Whew. And of course, we are still in Mercury retrograde, and we will be until the Aquarius full moon. However, that is not what we are here to talk about today. If you are curious about more of the energies of this current Mercury retrograde, I have a special video that talks a lot about it. I will end cap this one with that. Today, however, we are here for a quick update. We'll see, right? Mercury retrograde and all. A quick update, a quick touch in to the Leo new moon. And let me start this by saying Happy Magdalena Feast Day, everyone. Today is the 22nd of July as I'm recording this, which is the day that we celebrate the Feast of the Magdalene. Now, most of the time, July 22nd also coincides with the moment that the sun enters Leo. Here in the Pacific time zone, we're actually going to have that solar ingress on the 23rd. But right now, the sun is doing those final little movements and us in alignment with it, getting ready to shift out of the realm of Cancer and into the realm of its domain, Leo. The sun loves to be in Leo. Just ask any Leo that you might happen to know. They will tell you all about it. The sun rules the sign of Leo, and Leo is bombastic and bold and brilliant, just like the sun, right? The sign of the lion invites us to fuel more of our creative fire. It invites us to come more fully into center stage in our lives. And this Leonian new moon, which is happening on the 24th of August at 12:12 in the Pacific time zone, 12:12, the noon time, that amazing and magical number of completion that is the 12:12. At that moment, the sun and the moon which rules Cancer and the sun that rules Leo, meet at 2 degrees of Leo. At that exact moment, directly across the wheel, we find at 2 degrees of Aquarius, the retrograde Pluto. The sun and the moon exactly opposite. That magician of shadow work in the sign of unique expression, Aquarius. So the sun and the moon, when they meet together, we find ourselves ready to birth anew. It is not a time any longer of the waning moon. Oh no, oh no. We come into that void point and we begin to re-emerge out the other side. New moon is a symbol of a time for planting of seeds. This new moon is a cat's cradle. What is a cat's cradle? It's also a Trapeze Act, something bold, but held and secure. It takes courage to swing on the trapeze. However, you know that the net is below you, so you have that capacity to do the tricks. So let's look at this trapeze, shall we? It's a trapezoidal alignment that is occurring exactly on the date of this new moon, at the moment of this new moon. As I mentioned, directly across from the sun and the moon, Pluto in Aquarius, the sun and the moon inviting us to birth more of our bold-hearted, our lion-hearted, our brave, creative magics. Pluto in retrograde Aquarius, anything that we are still afraid to share about ourselves, anything we are still afraid to see about ourselves, rising up to be revealed, so that we may come more boldly into that state of expression, into our whole expression, into that full magnitude of our creative power. Now, exactly trine to our sun and moon in Leo is the conjunction between Neptune and Saturn in Aries, both now retrograde. Neptune, that shamanic veil curtain puller, who says, do you see that wizard behind the curtain? Do you see that wizard behind the curtain? As Saturn retrograde in Aries says, you realize that's you, right? That wizard is not some other. That wizard is literally you. What magic will you do? Can you see how you are the one who controls the levers? While Neptune and Saturn are, of course, in sextile with Uranus now in Gemini at that Z point, that 0 point of Gemini, awakening us. Now, Uranus rules Aquarius, where Pluto is found. Uranus rules Aquarius. Uranus invites us to experience and express our unique genius, to awaken more of our entire beingness. Well, Uranus at 0 degrees of Gemini is not only sextile to Saturn and Neptune, it is also sextile to the sun and the moon, and exactly trine. Well, not exactly. We know 2 degrees and 0 degrees are different, but within the range of orb, well within the range of orb in trine to Pluto. So here you can see the opposition between the sun and the moon and Pluto are being supported in these sextiles, because Pluto is also sextile to Saturn and Neptune. They are being supported through these sextiles, through these bridges, and they are in trine to those bridges themselves. This beautiful and rare aspect, especially when it is all big energies like the sun and the moon, like Pluto, like Saturn and Neptune, like Uranus. These big energies working in concert during this time of shifting signs is a reminder to us that we are held and supported as we explore more of our gifts. That which we thought were opposing forces are actually complementary to one another and give us an opportunity to awaken more, to stand more fully in our I am, to explore more, to feel more, to trust more of our inner knowing. And this is where Magdalena comes in. It is not a coincidence, of course it's not a coincidence, that I'm recording this on the feast day of the Magdalene, because Magdalena's asteroid is in a beautiful, beautiful set of aspects during the new moon as well. At the moment of the Leo new moon, Magdalena's asteroid will be at 19 degrees of Cancer. This puts a beautiful grand water trine into motion. Beautiful grand water trine into motion. One place where this water trine meets is exact Magdalena and the North Node in Pisces. Now, conjunct the North Node in Pisces is an asteroid we have not talked about, the goddess Saga. Saga is, as her name indicates, that place where we are invited to ask, what is my story? When the book of me is written, what will it say and who will write it? Now, Magdalena is a beautiful energy of remembering, of reclaiming one's story. Reclaim your story. Let your voice be the one that tells it. Can you feel that? Let your voice be the one that tells your story. Don't let someone else tell it for you. They'll get it wrong. They don't know the way you know. Now feel that energy conjunct the North Node in Pisces, allowing you to feel all of the aspects of your story, not just the good bits, not just the bad bits, but all of the bits of your story. Every part of you, everything that makes you, you. The divine and the embodied, the shadow and the light. Which brings us over to the other water sign, Scorpio, where at 21 degrees we have Medusa, another energy of reclaiming story, of reclaiming creative, empowered wisdom. Remember, one of the things that we get to play with when we are in a journey with Medusa is that wisdom, that primordial feminine, that kundalini energy having risen up through all the creative centers, up through the heart, up through all of the centers of expression, the throat, the third eye, emerging from the crown and literally becoming a head of snakes. Wisdom, creative energy, every aspect of our being seeding every other aspect of our being, and that gnosis, that magic, that enlightenment that is self-perpetuating from that point. Now, can we feel how Medusa's energy is said to literally turn to stone, to petrify men? If we feel into this idea of the feminine creative power having that much juice, we can feel where that could be quite intimidating, not just to the patriarchy, but to all of those parts of us that have been told that it is safer to be small. And here comes the South Node. During this Leo new moon, the South Node in Virgo will be conjunct Mars. Our drive, our purpose, our I am. Now, of course, that means that Mars is exactly opposite Saga and the South Node, or sorry, the North Node, Saga and the North Node. Mars, South Node, Saga, North Node, Pisces, Virgo. This grand water trine has Mars sextile to Magdalena, Mars sextile to Medusa. Black Moon Lilith is there too, but a little out of order. So what can we remember through this connection? It is an arrow pointing us to all of those places of misconception, all of the old stories and all of the old ways of being that turned Mars from our drive and purpose, from our I am, into the god of war. Can you feel that? So if we reclaim the story of the feminine, we reclaim the story of the masculine, and we come into that wholeness, we can wipe the slate clean, transforming our competitive natures into an expression of I am, and I have this to share. I can't wait to experience what you have to share in your I am. And this is part of the medicine. This is part of the medicine of Pluto and Aquarius. This is part of the medicine of Uranus's movement into Gemini, of this Cat's Cradle, of this Trapeze Act that is happening during this Leo new moon. It is a remembering that each and every one of us has a unique mission, a unique set of gifts, a unique frequency, all our own. We need not compete with one another because nobody has the capacity to offer to the universe what you do. Nobody. You are singular in this universe as a soul embodied in this moment. Do we have compatibilities? Of course, we have compatibilities. However, the notes, the way that I will sing my song, will invariably be different than the way that you sing yours. And if rather than competing with one another, we harmonize, we come into a state of divine orchestration. And that is part of the energy of this Mercury retrograde that we're moving through. This is very much the energy of this Leo new moon. It is also the energy of the Lionsgate portal and the Aquarius full moon that come through that. And a really powerful eclipse season that we have coming in September and very early October, when we have not one, but two Virgo new moons. More on that in a special video as well. Let me feel if there's another piece to share. Ah, yes, of course. The South Node Mars conjunction. The South Node Mars conjunction in Virgo and the Pisces North Node Saga conjunction are also making a T-square to a group of feminine energies in Gemini. This is feeling very important because this group of 4 asteroids traveling together have been traveling together for the entirety of July, and they will continue to travel together as we move from July into August. They are Venus at 22 degrees of Gemini, Hygeia at 20 degrees of Gemini, Isis at 17 degrees of Gemini, and Hathor at 15 degrees of Gemini. Now, feel into each of these foursome, into this quad. Venus is the full feminine, right? There is the planet Venus, and then there are all of the goddesses. Venus can be likened to Shakti. It is the full expression of the feminine. It is the only one that is a full planet as well in our solar system. Now, interestingly, right, Venus is on one side of the Earth and Mars is on the other side of the Earth, and it is said that Venus and Mars are a couple who are the parents of this earthly plane. Mm-hmm. So then we have Hygeia. And Hygeia is the closest of all of the players in this T-square, being at 20 degrees of Gemini. Hygeia is the double Kundalini. It is associated with our health and our hygiene. That's where the word hygiene comes from. The American Medical Association is her symbol, the two serpents rising up the single rod. It is a healing energy, quick and fast acting. When we work with white light to clear our fields, this is Hygeia. When we hold our hands like this and allow the current of energy to flow between, and we start to feel that tingling, and then we bring that into our bellies or into our throats or into our heads, into an area of imbalance. We're working with the energy of Hygeia. When we are working with a technology such as Reiki or transference healing, we are working with the energy of Hygeia. Anytime we are conducting light, we are working with the energy of Hygeia. She, in union with her counterpart Uranus, work with this lightning bolt, this awakening to our full capacities, which is also how we release the imbalances that we often call dis-ease. Isis helps us to remember all of ourselves, as she did with Osiris, allowing us to birth the divine child within, the true human in some language. And the Hathars are a reminder of our full interdimensional state of beingness. So these four working together with the I am in conjunction with the where we have been in Virgo, the sign of the Virgin Priestess, and our true story saga in the where we are going North Node in Pisces. This is a lunation for letting go of all of the baggage that keeps us playing small so that we can step into center stage of our story. And I said this was going to be a quick update, and it was and it wasn't, right? In true Mercury retrograde fashion. I will be facilitating our Leo New Moon Circle in the Blue Flame Apothecary on Circle during the exactness of this Leo New Moon. So we're going to begin at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, and the activation portion will be occurring at the moment of this peak void point of lunation. My guidance is that we will be working together, helping to integrate some powerful blue flame energy through our beings and through the Gaia grid. If that's something that calls to you, check the links below. You can check out the outer chamber and the inner sanctum and all of the offerings over there at the Blue Flame. I will be keeping the rainbow body light activation up here on the YouTube. You can find it on my channel. Through the course of this lunation, it will be returning to inner sanctum only access shortly thereafter. So if that calls to you, definitely go give it a check out. Again, there's the Mercury retrograde video, and I have a special video about the awakening light body, some of the experiences, physical and other, that you may be noticing in your system over these days. In some ways to help you integrate and navigate these very electrifying times. If anything feels to be shared, I would love to witness you in the comments as always. And please do like, subscribe, all the things so that you'll be notified when new videos drop. And as always, my friends, in the always, so much and many loves from the dimensions of the all and beyond the beyond.